Hi, back again to recapitulate the content of the second week of the course on early childhood care and education that dealt with the theoretical foundations and implications of learning and development in early years with special reference to learning theories and cognitive theories. Learning refers to changes in behavior as a result of experience. Kids are wonderfully equipped to learn by themselves immediately after birth. Any human being at a younger age learns through basic two forms of learning called classical and operant. Through classical conditioning, they learn by associating a neutral stimulus with an environmental stimulus. Using operant conditioning, they learn to control the environmental events. Learning by observing or imitating the behavior of another person is also one form of learning, as stated by Bandura in his social learning theory. With the insights of the behavioral and social approach towards learning, you were provided with strategies of application in fostering the learning potential of children in their early years. Brain, that is considered to be the prime organ for cognition, is rapid in its growth and development during the first 6 years of life. But can you quantify it? If no, then how do you measure a child's progression in its mental capacity? The only possible way is to rely on certain intelligence theory and to countercheck the said milestones with that of a child's activity. One such theory that gives you a clear understanding is Piaget's cognitive theory. He had explained of how schemas develop by setting into a state of disequilibrium and resolving it through assimilation, accommodation, and organization. He also had explained of how the schemas change over the different stages of development in general and the first two stages, sensory motor and pre-operational stage in particular. The educational principles that had been derived from Piaget's theory had been discussed with you with suggestions on the activities that could foster a child's cognition. My dear students, do remember that the thinking process of a child is not completely supported by Piaget's cognitive theory. So it becomes essential to understand the concept of information processing and multiple intelligence in fostering the overall cognition of young minds. The general model of information processing by Richard Atkinson and Richard Shiren by means of sensory register, short-term memory and long-term memory was discussed. The changes that takes place in the control process or mental strategies like memory, attention and metacognition were also traced. Moreover, the Gardner's model of multiple intelligence had given you the style of processing information with preferred learning choices of each of the 8 intelligences, namely verbal, logical, musical, visual, kinesthetic, interpersonal and naturalist. A part of the module also elaborates the identification strategies to make out the type of intelligence a child possesses and the activities that could foster the 8 intelligences in an early classroom setting. Bye as of now. Hope to meet you in the third week module.